Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of fascinating sources and really pull out the key nuggets of knowledge for you.
That's right.
Today, we're diving into some, well, pretty profound stuff, actually, exploring how we navigate challenges, our whole relationship with the past,
hmm
and the power of just embracing what makes us unique.
Yeah, and our mission today really is to unpack some practical truths. Find those surprising insights that can genuinely shift how you view your own journey.
Okay.
We'll look at how discomfort, isn't always a bad thing, maybe it's a signpost, and
Mm.
how letting go of yesterday, that can unlock so much potential.
And why being authentically you is maybe your biggest asset.
Exactly, your greatest strength.
So if you've ever felt, stuck or questioned your path, wondered how to break through to that next level, anywhere in life, really.
Then this deep dive should hit home.
Yeah, this is for you. We're going to unpack some ideas that aren't just like motivational quotes, but are really practical.
Deeply practical.
Okay, let's get into it then.
Let's do it.
So, first up, this core idea from our sources that moments of, well, intense discomfort, maybe even suffering, that's often exactly where change happens.
Right, not a detour, but the actual path.
Exactly, not some detour. It's the direct route. And the material kicks off with this really vivid image. Someone, let's call him Eddie, he's running in the desert, just hitting a wall physically.
Pain setting in.
Yeah, and his trainer sees him struggling and just says, super simply, Eddie, you said you wanted change. Well, this is where change happens. Rise to the occasion.
Wow. So direct.
It is. It connects that raw physical pain straight to the goal, doesn't it?
It really does. And what often gets missed in those moments, I think, is how we tend to see that discomfort in a vacuum.
Right. How do you mean?
Well, we separate the pain from the result we want.
Hmm.
We kind of disassociate it. It's easy to forget why you're even doing it.
Especially when you look around and maybe others seem relaxed or...
Exactly, enjoying themselves.
Well.
But the trainer's words, they just reframe it perfectly. You can have those things,
Mm.
but this is the cost.
Oh.
It highlights that the thing you want, it's rare, it means something, and yeah, it comes with a price tag, a
Yep.
clear one.
And that's why so few people get there, maybe. Because they aren't willing to pay.
Precisely because they're unwilling to pay that cost.
Right.
Yeah.
That reminds me of this great analogy in the sources. Struggling to open a bottle with an opener, really fighting it. And then someone just calmly points out, it's a twist off.
Right. All that effort, all the stories you tell yourself.
Yeah, the nonsense you tell yourself to avoid the simple thing. If you want what's inside,
Just twist the damn thing off.
it's that simple. And the trainer apparently said it again during this brutal legs workout with Eddie. You said you wanted change. Here's the change. Let's go.
There's a kind of beautiful simplicity to that, isn't there?
Totally. If you don't want it, leave. If you do, well, here's the price. Like numbers on a can in the store.
It's so clear.
Yeah.
And that physical exertion piece, the fitness analogy, it's just incredibly powerful as a metaphor for this whole idea. Because when you're physically spent, totally tapped out, but you keep going, you're not getting an instant reward, are you?
No, not at all.
You're doing it for something later, a future return. You're essentially seeing the unseeable. You're placing a bet on the unknown.
Okay, so how does that connect beyond fitness? Like building a business?
Directly. That hell you're going through in the early stages, the late nights, the stress, that's not necessarily a sign you're in the wrong arena.
It could be the cost.
It's often the exact cost of building something successful. It actually means you might be closer than you think.
And I guess that applies to personal battles too, right? Not just business.
Oh, absolutely. Improving your health, changing your diet, maybe overcoming substance abuse, or just falling back into old habits.
Yeah.
You have that micro loss, that setback moment. You look in the mirror, feel that disappointment.
We've all been there.
Right. And that specific moment of pain, that frustration, that is where the change happens.
So the question isn't if you fall, but
what are you going to turn that pain into? Because, look, everyone falls. What really matters is how you see the fall, what you make of it.
it's like a fork in the road.
Exactly. Every single outcome, every challenge, it's a fork, a reason to crumble or a reason to evolve.
Which brings up perspective, doesn't it? How we view the obstacles.
Yeah, it does. Think about hiking a mountain. The source uses this image. The mountain itself, it's indifferent, right? Doesn't care about you, has no agenda.
It is.
It just
Yeah.
exists. It merely is. So your success, your experience, it's entirely up to you to navigate it. It's up to you to become the kind of person who can make the ascent.
Okay.
So when life feels dark or heavy or just impossible,
Yeah.
ask yourself, Do I really want what's on the other side?
And if the answer is yes,
Then that discomfort, that struggle, it doesn't mean you're further away from glory. It means you're knocking on glory's door.
you're paying the premium.
You're paying the premium. Fighting a battle, most people just,
Oh.
they don't, and they won't fight.
It's fascinating how we try to run from those moments, but the sources say they're the very place transformation happens.
Exactly, the crucible.
So if you want change, perfect. This is where it happens. Take a second, connect with why you want it, and just decide. Are you willing to rise up and seize it?
That's the challenge.
Okay, let's shift gears a little. Building on that, embracing the challenge. Let's talk about what often stops us, the past.
Nice. Yesterday.
Yeah. One source makes this really powerful point. Yesterday is only as powerful as we allow it to be.
Think about that.
It's just an idea, right? A story, like a movie that started and ended. So why do we, cling to the old stories, especially the bad ones?
That's a great question. Why relive them? Creating this self-inflicted wound, as the source calls it.
But the past did get us here, didn't it? It shaped us. There's value there.
Undeniably. It played a critical role in bringing you to where you are now. Shaped your worldview, your beliefs. No question there's value.
But
Imagine trying to drive your car today only on the roads you drove yesterday.
that's absurd.
It's completely absurd. Yesterday's path has absolutely nothing to do with where I'm going now.
It's like the wake behind a boat.
Perfect analogy. The boat's wake trailing off behind it has nothing to do with where it's going next. The person holding the wheel controls that.
Right. And we have so much freedom, don't we? So much opportunity, potential right in front of us.
We are saturated with freedom, as the source puts it.
But we miss it because we're stuck on that fictitious story we call yesterday.
We confuse the path we took then for the one we need now.
So the key is unshackling ourselves.
That's it. The gateway to change is unshackling ourselves from those imaginary monsters of the past. And often, the answer isn't some new complex thing.
It's simpler.
It's often just cutting ties with those things that no longer serve us.
But that can hurt, can it? Letting go?
Oh, absolutely. Leaving a part of us behind hurts. It takes real vulnerability, to look in the mirror and truly say, I can be more than this.
Yeah.
But if we stay captive to the past, we're ignoring one of our greatest superpowers.
Which is?
The perpetual ability to restart. We can always begin again.
That reminds me of that lunch story you mentioned from the sources.
Oh, yeah, the sunk cost thing.
Right. Being full but still eating just because I paid for it.
And the friend just says so pragmatically, just because you paid for it doesn't mean you need to eat it, right? It's a sunk cost. Why don't you move on?
It seems trivial, but it's such a great illustration of that sunk cost fallacy, isn't it? That bias where we keep investing just because we already put something in.
Exactly. Even when it's clearly not working. And how often do we do that in life? Keep consuming that which doesn't serve us.
Or stay too long somewhere.
Stay too long when we really should be letting go. We tend to overvalue what we know. We prefer the pain of now over the potential for something better.
Because the unknown feels scary.
Terrifying. It's not concrete. It's a world unsettled. And that uncertainty, it can feel paralyzing.
But the sources say stepping into that unknown, leaving yesterday behind, it actually gives us things.
It gives you new pieces. It literally resets the stage, provides new tools to build something incredible.
Even if we worry, what if it gets worse?
Well, maybe it feels worse for a moment. But the point is, we adjust. We learn things we never knew. It's often in leaving that we rediscover who we were truly meant to be.
So the real worst-case scenario isn't total disaster.
But not usually, no. The actual worst-case scenario, if you dare to move on, you might just end up right back where you started.
But different.
But different. A little more confident, a little bolder, and better prepared to live this life like you never had before.
Wow. So all it takes is convincing yourself there's more.
Convince yourself there's more out there.
Yeah.
Because the world really does have everything you need to change, to grow, explore, build a life that means something.
The real challenge is pausing that story in your head.
That's the hurdle. Can you pause that internal story? The tales of a dark, mean, and scary world, or that you're defined by who you used to be.
It's like every day is a fresh start.
Every day you wake up, you're a blank canvas. Who cares about yesterday? What do you want to paint now?
That's incredibly freeing. Life as an invitation, not requirements.
Exactly. An invitation, not a set of requirements. The world wants to support you. It's your ally.
So the call is to move on. Break away from old rules.
Move on from what doesn't serve you. Break the old rules. And remember that sunk cost thing. Just because you paid to get there doesn't mean you need to keep paying to make wrong decisions.
Today is the end of yesterday.
And the beginning of the rest of your life. It's
Yeah.
that simple and that profound.
Okay, and that brings us really nicely to this third big idea. The courage it takes to be, well, unique.
Authenticity.
Yeah, because our reality, it's so much about how we interpret things, isn't it?
Definitely. How we interpret what's in front of us. One person sees a barrier, a problem.
And another sees an opportunity, a bridge.
Exactly. A future win, a bridge to something better. And this perspective is so crucial when we think about those qualities that make us unique.
The things we might hesitate about because they're not common.
Right, because they're not common. It makes you think of Robert Frost. The road not taken.
Two roads diverged in a wood.
I took the one least traveled by, and that made all the difference.
Such a famous line.
It is, but the sources dig deeper. It's not just a casual choice. It means making your uniqueness a kind of battle cry.
Not trying to slip under the radar.
Exactly the opposite. It's signing the dotted line for the pain of being a beginner, the struggle of being uncertain.
The hard road of turning passion into excellence.
That torturous road, yes.
Yeah.
It's basically trading peace of mind for the pursuit of meaning in life.
Wow. That really puts it starkly. It takes real courage.
It absolutely takes courage. Your mind, the sources say, it screams at you, reminders that you're alone. You're literally fighting your own DNA.
Resisting that urge to just blend in.
That deep impulse to please sit down, shut up, and blend in. But here's the thing. It's not your commonality with those around you that will bring fulfillment.
It's the unique stuff.
It's that thing that's unequivocally you. That's a little out there that's somewhat strange. That thing you don't even know why, but it just pulls you.
That gravitational force.
It's gravitational force. It pulls and pulls and pulls. And there's this constant internal tug of war, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. One side saying, relax, conform, do less.
Stay safe. And the other side, that quieter voice maybe, asking, but what if? What if you sacrificed the comfort of right now? What if you explored?
What if you took what you love and just ran with it?
What if you worked for a delayed payday? It's that vision of saying, look, I'm not totally sure what I'm building yet, but I'll keep pivoting until it's so clear you can see it from the moon.
But doubt can creep in so easily.
So easily. And a little bit of doubt is enough to derail your process. That whole process you have to believe in, protect, nurture.
That doubt is powerful. So how do we fight that? The sources mention a two-part process.
Yeah, for pursuing that unique self, part one is crucial. Believing that the exploration of that thing that makes you unique, it's valuable.
Not trivial.
Not trivial, not inconsequential. If it means something deep down to you, the odds are it will most certainly mean something to others too, eventually.
Bringing it to life helps you and the world.
Exactly. And part two.
Trust?
Trusting that as long as you don't stop in pursuit of your unique self, you can't lose. Now, that doesn't mean just blindly charging ahead.
No, it means learning, experimenting.
Growing, learning, experimenting, seeing what works. And when you hit a dead end, which you will.
It's the plan that needs changing, not the goal.
Precisely. The plan needs to be changed or adjusted. Learning from those mistakes, those dead ends, it actually increases the odds with every step forward.
It's quite a thought that being different is the most precious thing afforded to you.
It really is. And realizing that miracle, as the source calls it, it takes this blend of the mythical.
Dreaming, visualizes.
Creating a world from ideas, yeah. And the totally practical.
Repetition, learning, failing, adjusting.
The grind. And let's be honest, it's much easier to blend in than spend years pushing through the agony of setting yourself apart.
No question.
But look at the evidence. Who do we celebrate? We only celebrate the outcasts, the crazy ones.
The ones who dared to be different.
The ones who use their unique gifts as their foundation. They weren't trying to be anyone else. They knew deep down that that is enough.
So the real question for us is, will we nurture that seed?
That's it. Will you provide the right conditions and nourishment for that little seed to grow? Will you do what so few people have the courage to do? Let their authentic selves shine through.
Emerson really nailed it, didn't he? To be yourself in a world that's constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment.
You really did. And also that line, my life should be unique. It should be an alms, a battle, a conquest, a medicine. Powerful stuff.
And this idea that chasing constant happiness might be misguided.
A fool's errand, yeah. Fulfillment seems to come more from the quest for meaning, for more, for building something, for creating your unique self.
Something that has to be earned.
It must be chiseled from stone. It's never given or provided. It has to be found, taken.
So wrapping this all up, it comes down to a choice, doesn't it?
It really does. The question for you, listening right now, is what will you make with this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity?
What will you make of the possibilities only you see?
Only you understand, only you can bring to life. And the final message from our sources is just so potent. Never doubt yourself.
Or your gifts?
Or the things that set you apart. You don't need everyone else to believe in them.
You just need to convince yourself.
You just need to convince yourself.
Wow. Okay, so today we really dug into some deep truths. That discomfort, it's not the enemy, it's often the ground where change actually happens.
Right. And freeing yourself from yesterday's stories, that unlocks incredible growth.
And finally, embracing that unique path, your authentic self. It's not just brave, it's essential for, well, real fulfillment.
Absolutely essential.
So here's a final thought to chew on. The next time you find yourself at one of those crossroads, feeling that pressure, to conform, or battling some big internal struggle, just ask yourself, am I letting yesterday's script dictate today's masterpiece? Or am I ready? Am I ready to pick up the brush and paint a new reality?
One bold stroke of courage and authenticity at a time.